Hey, what's up? I'm Chico and thank you for watching this video. So, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Let's talk about it rationally, see if we can be a little constructive. Um, I see that there is so much hate for it already, and it's understandable. I'm not gonna BS you. However, I'm not going to jump on the complete trash bandwagon either. I don't think it's fair. I like to think that there's always good and bad things about every movie, especially one of this magnitude. So let's talk about it and start with the bad. Um, Now, I already expressed my dislike for Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, what they've been doing to Disney. I mean, it's beyond me how they can continue to destroy all this IP, whether it's Star Wars, MCU, Pixar, now Indiana Jones. I hear they did terrible with Willow. It all seems to be rushed, trying to stuff it on the Disney Plus library. Who knows? But somehow they remain in control of the sinking ship. Now, I already expressed my thoughts on this. I believe there are bigger forces at play here, whether it's Vanguard and BlackRock who own Disney and they're calling the shots. Who knows? It's my speculation, but it's unfortunate because these people have golden parachutes. So as we try to retaliate by boycotting and cancel culture on them, uh, I think that these people are going to be rewarded and paid rich anyways. It's sad that the people who are going to end up hurt by this is going to be the movie industry, the actors, the all the crew that takes to make movies, and the theaters, and ultimately the fans. So we will see where it goes. I have hope. I'm always going to enjoy movies. So enough ranting. Let's end it on that and talk about the movie. Now, starting with the opening CGI scene, that look, it went on a little too long, like my videos sometimes, and that's probably the reason I didn't like it. I believe, however, it's 50-50. I didn't hate it. I like to think that the director was actually just trying to get you started in the right foot, get you to remember the good old days of Indiana Jones and maybe get a reaction or a smile out of you. And it worked. I just think that it went too long, especially since Harrison Ford is alive and he's your actor. So I don't think there was a need to make such long CGI scenes where you start noticing the flaws and it starts getting a little weird. I'll case in point you where I will show you a good version of what CGI should be used in some movies when it comes to humans, anyway. If you remember, Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie in spite of Kathleen Kennedy. But do you remember this scene?
Received. What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
Now, this brought chills to me, I'll admit. I really like this movie, and this gave it a perfect ending where, Carrie Fisher, God bless her soul, rest in peace, she went way too soon. And, this was heartwarming. I remember when I saw it at the theater, and it gave the perfect ending to a really good movie. It gave a meaning to the, many Bothans died bringing us this information line, and it completed the movie. And it was nice and short, so you didn't have a chance to get weirded out. I looked at it and I said, "Oh my God, Princess Leia," and it ended. Right now, you can start pausing and start saying, "Oh, bad CGI, blah blah blah." It didn't matter at the time. The movie did a good job impressing you or leaving an impression on you. At least it did on me. That's how I believe that CGI should work, because if it gets too long, you know, now you start analyzing too much. And again, I didn't mind it. It didn't ruin anything for me because I came to see Indiana Jones anyway. I came to see him, the old version, the new version, even the CGI version. So it's no big deal. Um, Now, what I did have a beef with, though, was the next scene where you see the current Indiana Jones, the old one, And he's sitting alone in his apartment in his underwear, looking miserable, sad, getting served divorce papers, getting disrespected by his young neighbors who are partying, and he goes to confront them. Where an old Indiana Jones would have punched that guy in the face, he kind of just took it and walked away. He moved on to his job, which he seemed to hate, and his students didn't respect him. They weren't even listening to him, answering his questions. So just getting tired of the old Disney insisting on breaking down and humiliating our favorite characters. They know that it's a bad recipe and they continue to do it. This is why they introduce Helena, which is was a terrible idea. I mean, for fuck's sake. She comes in and starts by disrespecting him too. She's rolling her eyes at him and answering his questions like, it's boring. Not a good start. Not a good start. And granted, look, I saw the trailer and I stayed away from the social media. So unfortunately, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that this was going to be another Kathleen Kennedy special Mary Sue character. But I did go in neutral. I mean, I was hoping that during a 3 hour movie, maybe she would turn around and have some experiences that would make her a better character. But no, no. I mean, this was every bit as expected. I don't hate her personally, but she was just miscast, man. There's no other way to put it. She's physically not the right person. She's unlikable, forgettable. Feels like she was put in literally just to show the audience that for whatever reason, whether it's because she has a vagina, she's just better than Indy at everything, and it just doesn't sit well. Puts her behind the eight ball. I personally lost it when there was a chase scene during the early part of the movie in Egypt when they were riding those little go kart things, and Indy yells something like, "How can you do this?" or "What are you doing?" And I don't know. Her literal response was to say, "Why? Because I'm resourceful and I'm beautiful and I'm self-reliant or self-sufficient." One of those lines. And it's like, oh man, it just hits you like a truck. Like there's the message, and I don't get it. The wrong time, the wrong thing to say, and it hits you like a truck. You're like, what the fuck? I mean, what in the hell is even that, right? And I don't say that right. I actually say that for you. Remember that?
What the hell is even that? Get every.
That's exactly how you feel. Like it just like at no point during this movie did I think any of what she said, her self description of herself. I mean, it was just bad. It was just bad. There's no other way to put it. Um, Once you filter her out, though, I mean, the rest of the movie is not horrible. Not like people make it out to be. There's plenty of entertaining scenes that are Indiana Jones style. And yes, I understand he's 100 years old. He looks every bit of it. But like I said, I mean, I came to see Indy. Whether it's going to be the old, I knew what to expect. I just wanted to see it myself because I'm a big fan. That's the scene right there where she comes out. That's terrible. Um, my other favorite scene really is when they did go back in time and they flew over the Roman War, and you could see all the centurions and the battle going on at the bottom. I didn't see it coming, and I should have, but I didn't, and it was really fun. It was really cool to see the movie change up to that time, and that's where he finally meets Archimedes, and he's all excited about it. So that was cool. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can enjoy about the movie if you can somehow block out Helena and the young guy, the would be short round. He was a non-factor for me. I hardly remember much. He was likable, no dislike, but he just seemed to be an extra. He wasn't a good part of the team. Um, so, I mean, real quick, what suggestions? What could have been better? I don't know. I mean, I thought about things. I really wanted Short Round to be in this movie. And why couldn't he be the next Indiana Jones? It would have been killer. I mean, He's shown that he can act. He was very good on the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. So he could have been in this. So I don't understand why they couldn't make a movie with him as the next Indiana Jones, riding around with Indy, teaching him his last bits before he's done. And it would have been really nice because they're both likable characters, Indiana Jones and Short Run was. The memories that would have triggered would have been really good. But I mean, I understand it has to be a girl. That's Disney's plan. So okay, why not? But why Helena? I mean, she looked so out of place. There was a scene where they went back in time where Indy went to the apartment of Helena's dad to get the artifact, and he gives it to him, and he walks out. And there's a young version of Helena that sees Indy walking out with the apartment, kind of to show that I guess that's where she first notices him, and she knows. Um, Why? Why you should have used the young version of Helena, maybe team up with Short Round and Indy. That would have been nice. You would have seen her go through the ropes to become the next Indiana Jones. I would accept that. Sure. I mean, why not, right? But somehow they just always repeatedly want to put her without work, without earning it, and that's what bothers people, I
Please,
believe.
I don't need a nurse. I just.
There could have been a lot of better ways that they could have done this movie, of course. You can look back and try to think back after you saw this debacle and say what could have been. But as it stands, I wouldn't say like don't go see it. It was absolutely horrible, like a lot of the media is making it out to be. No, it is not the best. No, it will not be anywhere near what this classic is. But it also wasn't completely unwatchable, like they say. Um, Now to close, I know these videos end up going being long. I did save this for last because the ending was gratifying for me because I remember they fixed the problem that I had at the beginning where they served their divorce papers and you're thinking, what the heck, what kind of end is this for Indy? But to our surprise, Marion comes up, the old Marion, and she looked great. I mean, that got a reaction out of not just me, but the crowd. Everybody did a collective Marion. And everybody was happy because they belong together. And a scene like this reminds you of that. I mean, I'll play it. Hopefully, you check it out to help you remember how it was and be happy that at least Indy was sent away in this way.
He's such a baby. Marion, leave me. How's this here? Go, Ray. Yes. Hurts. Ow.
Well, God damn it, Indy, where doesn't it hurt?
Here. Here. This is too bad.
Jones. Jones?
See, this lady is beautiful for 80s standard and for today's standard. And she was very likable in this movie. There's no way that they should have not have ended together. So thank Disney and thank them for at least giving us that bit. Because at least it gave me some kind of closure where now I know Indy's done and we'll see what they do with it. But nothing can compare to the original. And she still looks great at her advanced age. She looked like a nice young lady. And that's where I'll end it. Hopefully, again, you don't get discouraged. If you're like me and you are a true fan of things, don't let Harrison Ford disappear this way. And like so much negative press, so much negative sentiment. Do you feel like he deserves that? I mean, he was Han Solo. He was Indiana Jones. Um, this isn't like pity on any way. I'm sure he's doing really well himself, but um, it's not the way I would like to see his character be dismissed. Like how terrible you flopped and laugh out loud. We shouldn't react that way as an audience. It's just my 2 cents. Um, Real quick, I mean, I remember Clint Eastwood.
You used to be
If you saw
strong,
this movie, it was horrible.
macho. I used to be a lot of things, but I'm not now. And I'll tell you something. This macho thing is overrated. Just people trying to be macho, show that they've got grit. That's about all they end up with.
All right, Clint, when the hell are you even talking about, right? But again, these people have been like our uh, actors. They're not heroes. It's a better word than that, but a different word than heroes. But they've been part of our culture and our life for a long time, and they were great in their prime. So I never believe in disrespecting, even though this was a terrible movie and this was his goodbye movie. Maybe he shouldn't have done it, but hey, we don't regret seeing this. We saw this one during the pandemic, and yeah, it was horrible, but we were glad to see Clint one more time. Hopefully, you feel that way about Harrison Ford. Anyway, again, I ran too long. Sorry about that, but thank you for listening if you did. And if you don't mind, do the subscribe thing, help me out. And see you on the next one.